So hi there, Geoff Coughlin, editor Scale Modelling Now. So welcome to this inbox browse for this brand new Avro Vulcan B.2 in 72nd scale from Airfix. And this has been long awaited, to say the least, really. I'm sure many of you will have built the old Airfix kit, which was a bit of a battle, to be honest. It was always great to see it, but gosh, was it a battle, especially around the back end, around the engines and all the rest of it. But this is a completely different prospect. Totally new tool, of course, and is just going to get sold in bucket loads, I suspect. So let's have a look at what we've got. Just move the box, enormous, great big box out of the way. Straight into the plastic then. Well, the shape looks very good, excellent for a B2. Everything seems to be there. Really like the panel line detail. It's very fine. If I just sort of give you some contrast with my finger here. Which is good to see. Options here for those speed brakes that pop out above the wings. You get those as an option to have deployed or not, as you like, which is good. Just while we're here, have a quick look at the clear part. Nice and clear. You can get some little windscreen wipers included on the front of the main windscreens. I like the way they've done it like this. So of course the rest, the back end is all painted, so it's going to make that a lot easier to fit and I get a clean join there, which is good. Coming to the underside, obviously options for deployed landing gear or not, but the biggest, I think, interesting factor is that you can fit the blue steel standoff missile, which again you can see here just at the top, with its separate moulded bomb bay for that, or you can fit a more standard affair, which has got the traditional sort of racks and all the various bombs, which are also included as an option. And straight away, I think one of the really neatest little things that has been included, partly because it was a bit of a problem in the initial kit, is you get some great little FOD guards here for the engine intakes, and that's going to please some. I certainly plan on fitting those, but I'll say more about that in just a bit. Here we go, you've got those deployed speed brakes, which you can see here. I think above and below the wing, I think that actually can be done. Separate nose section, assuming that all fits okay, that should be okay. Decent enough cockpit details. A few things here. We've got some seats. I think these are the ones for the guys at the back without belts, and then you've got the ones slightly more detailed here, the ejector seats. Of course, I don't think all crew had ejector seats. It's a bit worrying, but hey ho. I think certainly the nav and the pilot did, who sat in the raised position at the top of the flight deck. And then you've got the little internal steps over here. Got nose cones there. Great option as well to have the crew access door lowered with the steps deployed, which is definitely something I'm also going to feature on the build. Little flick over there, that's fine. So it's come across. As you can see, it's a big bird, this. I forgot just how big it is as a kit, even in 72nd scale. Nice neat touch here. You've got 1, 2, 3 and 4 marked up here for the engine bays. You've got either the front or the aft bomb bay wall, which is interesting to see there. Engine faces, which also included. Got some other nice detail. I imagine these are sort of cockpit details, I think. Just not sure yet. We'll have a look at that later. Possibly even Bombay detail, I'm not sure. We've got here more detail for the cockpit, which is good. Wheel well detail over here. Probably wheel wells, actually. And then you've got the inserts here that sit on the underside between the engines. Option for slightly positionable rudder, which is great, and I think also the big flaps as well can be positioned too, which is all looking exciting for me. Lots of options here. Some of the smaller parts here, certainly for the engines, multi-part, numbered up, which is interesting. So hopefully if they all fit together, that should be good. Various inserts that go into the engines here. Main gear legs look good. A little bit of flash on those, but nothing to write home about. Decent enough wheels for sure here. Looks like a pair of nose wheels, and then you've got those the main gear wheels there. Decent hub detail on those too. It's quite delicate jacks here, which is also good. for the retraction mechanism, and different fin tops by the look of it, which is good. You've got the clean, and then the one with the radar warning receiver, which is neat. So overall, looks good, looks very good. So let's start having a look at the instruction book, which is just as you would expect in the current format. Plenty of clarity about that, especially when you move on through the build to start looking at the option for adding the blue steel standoff weapon or a nuclear weapon, or you've got the standard bomb fit as you like. So you've got these different options, and you've got some clear indicators here where you just might need to do a little bit of adjustment to the kit part, but I think those are marked up, so that shouldn't be difficult to do at all. Also, the indications here as to what you need to drill out for various parts to be included. And as you can see here, as we move forward, blue steel or a more standard setup, depending on how you go. Yeah, so boxed wheel wells, there's a wheel well detail, which is good. They certainly look perfectly acceptable for the scale. And then of course you get here the moulded detail on the undersides of the upper wings for the top of the bomb bay. So that should all come together quite nicely. Obviously my hope is that we get a decent fit here between the nose and the centre section, but no reason to think not. In recent years, I'm really impressed with the fit of mostly of the new kits that Airfix are releasing, so hopefully that will work well. And then as you can see here, you just go on adding the various bits and bobs here to get the full and final effect. Those flaps, chance to offset the rudder a little bit, that should look quite nice, especially on a big bird like this. I think it's important to do something a little bit with the control surfaces just to break up the expanse of the surface. Huge great weapons bay here, which you can add the bombs to or not as you wish. And then you've got that blue steel standoff weapon as well. And there we go, as I was telling you before, we've got this nice option for the deployed crew access ladder, which is for me an absolute must. I think that's just going to sit nicely. That's one of the things, that the features I quite like of the real aircraft, especially the one at Newark Air Museum. So if you've not been, you've got quite a few airframes. You've got one at Duxford, Imperial War Museum Duxford. You've certainly got one at the RF Museum Hendon. And then closer to home here in Nottinghamshire, you've got the excellent Vulcan, which you can often get a chance to look inside, which is a superb beast. So I would urge you to get down to the Newark Air Museum to have a play there. Decals then, two options you get included in the kit. You've either got the standard sort of glossy camo finish over sort of grey-green over the glossy white undersides, or you've got the overall white, anti-flash white, which is the sort of slightly more low-vis markings, which you can see here. Cartograph decal sheets, so they're superb. They're amongst the best decals at the moment that I have had the pleasure of using. So on the other Airfix builds, so that's all good. Having a quick look here, so let's have a look at those two schemes. So a Scampton wing, numbers 2783 or 617, famous Dambuster Squadron, RS Scampton, Lincolnshire, England, 1966. And this is the one actually that's the Nottinghamshire Air Museum. So that is enormously tempting, but I'm pleased to report that Adam should be building one of these for the magazine too, and I think the plan is that he's going to build it in that scheme. I think Dave Coward is definitely also got one in the pipeline, and then I'm going to be building one too. So you've got 3 builds coming, which I think is really exciting. And then you've got this overall white, the anti-flash white scheme, 12 Squadron, RF Coningsby, Lincolnshire, just up the road in 1963. And so what's the plan? What are we going to do with this? So for me, I think what I'm going to do is pick a real challenge. I'm going to go for the white scheme. I really fancy trying to create a realistic white scheme on one of these aircraft. I think it's notoriously quite tricky to do. So often I see models and they look a little bit toy-like, and that's no disrespect to the builders. I can see the difficulties and it is quite difficult. So the issues of using gloss white, I don't really want to use gloss white, so I've got a mechanism for getting around that, so we get hopefully a slightly more scale effect and more realistic looking white finish. So I'm going to play with that. When we get to the build, which will be very soon, you can follow that and see exactly how I do that. So I'm going to take multiple videos of that when we go through the process to hopefully make that nice and clear. So at least you'll see how I got to the result I do, whatever that will be, and hopefully it will all been worth it. You know, you've got all sorts of challenges here, haven't you, with the white scheme, I think, particularly when you've got all the panel lining. Do you or do you not do anything with that? And if you do, then what do you do with it? So I certainly don't want to end up with a patchwork quilt. So those sorts of challenges, those are the sorts of things we're going to need to have a look at and take care of. So there we go. That is the Airfix Avro Vulcan B.2 in 70-second scale, completely new tool, which is fabulous to see, and many congratulations to Airfix for pulling this one off and bringing it to us in these difficult times in 2021.